Hi crafters, welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to make this step card. Now you've probably seen this variation without the backing, and it usually has a piece that pops up and is a 3D effect in the middle, but I changed mine a little bit. As you can see, it's got the little page on the back to help hold it up, and then when you pull down you've got that little ledge that you can display stuff on. This requires no die cuts except for the embellishment with Let It Snow and then the snow itself. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we need is our scoreboard. And the first piece is going to be a piece that is 9 inches by 1/2 inch. And then just fold that in half. And I just did it so that I had double-sided cardstock since I don't have double-sided cardstock. And we're going to score this at 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. And that's just going to be for the little piece that's going to help the images stand up. So we're going to put that to the side, and then for the base of the card we need one piece that is 4 3/4 by 9 inches. On the 9-inch side we're going to score at 1 and 3. Then we need one piece, and I'm just using a basic green cardstock. This is going to be cut at 5 by 7, and then you'll need another piece, and this is going to be cut at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. You can cut this at 7 because this is going to be the back piece, so you can cut that. And then I also am just using a piece of scrap, and this is 2 1/4 by 6 1/2. But again, you can make that 7 or 6 3/4 if you want the border all the way around, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Next, we need one piece cut at 3 inches by 1 inch, and then we're going to turn this back on the 3-inch side, and we're going to score this at 1/2 and 2.5. So that's all we need the cutting board for right now, so we're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to start with the base piece, and you're just going to fold this, so just fold this in half. Make it a valley fold and then a mountain fold. So your piece will look like this. Now you're going to take the bigger of the green, that's going to be the 5 by 7 piece, and we're just going to glue this to the back with that border all the way around. So we're just going to put glue on this one side. And again, you can use your double-sided tape if you wanted to, your tear and tape, and use your tape instead. So I'm just going to pick this piece up, and then we're just going to secure that to the one side, making sure it's lined up and it's got an even border all the way around, and then go ahead and push that glue out. Okay, next what we need is we need the piece that's going to be on the back. And we do need our scoreboard. We should have scored this. So we're going to score this at 2 3/8. Then you just want to fold this in half. And then just score that out. Or press out that score. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to cut just a tiny angle off this. So I'm just holding this. And I'm just going to cut a sliver, just a straight line from the edge down, even maybe 1/8 of an inch, just so it has just a little bit of an angle. Then we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue it. You want to make sure it's flat on the bottom, so it lines up with that green piece on the bottom. And then again, this way you could have made it 7 inches if you wanted to make it match. And then the extra piece, this I'm putting just a piece of white on there to write a message, but you could do it on both sides, and you could do the border all the way around. I'm just using a scrap piece, it was sitting there, and I'm just going to use that. So we're going to glue this piece to the back of the card. You're going to do it doesn't matter what side, you can do it on the straight side or the angle side. I did mine on the straight side. And just go ahead and crease that out. And then again, we're going to glue this piece to the back of the card. You want to make sure the bottom is even with the bottom of the green piece so that it stands up straight. So just like that. So we're just going to put glue on that side that we put the white on, not on the side that we cut. So again, just line that up. And if you have a border on the side, that's fine. If it doesn't match, you can make sure it's lined up. Just make sure the bottom is lined up with the bottom piece of the green. That'll just make sure that it does stand up properly for you. And then go ahead and just push back the other way and then crease out that fold. Okay, now for the inside. This is the piece that we cut. Now you could glue this together at first if you wanted, but again, I just did this so that it matches the background paper. So I'm just going to fold all these score lines. And then I'm going to take glue on one end and I'm going to close this. I know this is hard to see with the paper, but I'm just going to glue it on the first piece that was just the 1/2 inch. And then I'm just going to secure that down. And basically you're just making a box. And then I'm going to put glue on the other side just to close those two pieces of paper together. And what you can do then is you can squeeze it out and then go ahead and score it if you want. Just score all 4 sides of it just so that they're creased out. So this piece is going to be put on the card, and this is going to help the card, the image that we're going to use, to stand out from the side of the card. Just gives it that 3D effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this, but before we do that, I'm just going to line up my characters to make sure that they're not over the edge of the card, because I don't want them to hang over so that it fits inside the 5x7 envelope. So you're going to put glue on 2 sides of this. And it doesn't matter what sides because it's even all the way around. Go ahead and line up that center fold and then just secure that down. And squeeze it out. And I'm just pushing that to make sure that goes all the way into that crevice. Now we're going to do the bottom piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that green piece that we did, that was 1 inch, 1 inch by 3, and we're going to fold those crease marks that we made. With the tabs going inward, we're going to glue this down, and you want to put this in the middle. So you can go ahead and get your ruler. You're going to mark this. This is 5 inches, so you're going to mark this first piece at a 1/2 inch, and then mark the card at 2.5 inches. So you want those marks to line up when you glue it down. So we're going to put glue on just one tab. The tab is facing inward. And then just go ahead and secure that down. And then just lay it out flat. Crease it out. Just keep it laying flat. Put glue on the other tab. Make sure you don't put too much glue so it doesn't stick. And then just close that last little flap down. And then when you open that back up, then you'll have your little shelf. And it'll stand up perfectly. And then I'm going to go ahead and crease out those folds again on that little piece that we added. So now for the embellishments. I've got the little boys that are having a snowball fight. And they're going to sit there, and I'm going to let the second boy kind of sit at an angle. But before we do that, I also have these bits of waves of snow that I cut. And I just used an edge cutter to cut out some strips. I have not cut them to size because I'm just going to cut around the edge of the card once I glue them down. So, but you also want to make sure that you don't put these too high so that you're not hiding your characters. And that's why I didn't cut them, because I want to just kind of eyeball it first. So the easiest way to do this is just to lay your card, figure out where you want these, and just put glue on this first section. So this little 1 inch flap that's hanging down, I'm just going to put glue all over that. And then I'm going to take my border and I'm just going to glue that down. Again, I don't want to make it too high. And this is going to be hard to see on the bottom, but you can't see where the line is. And I'll just show you by putting these back on here. But you can see that you can still see their feet and everything, so I didn't do it too high. And then I'm going to take another one and put that right on top on front of the first one. And on this one, I'm not going to put glue all the way down to the bottom because I know I'm going to cut it away. So I'm just putting some glue on it. And then I'm going to secure this to that front piece. Making sure that they've got some different waves going. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to lay this out. And I'm just going to cut around the frame of the card. Make sure you don't cut into your card, but just cut around. If you guide your scissors against the edge, it should just cut and just guide right through her. So now what we're doing is we're going to put just a little bit of glue on that little piece that we added. And then we're going to secure the two boys to this. And I'm only securing the one boy. And I'm just doing his leg. And I'm letting the other little guy just up in the air just a little bit, like he's being thrown back from the snowball. I just think that looks cute. Now, if you have any more snow, I found this piece. It's just a little bit smaller. I'm going to secure this to the back. We could have done this first, but this is just an afterthought. So I'm just going to put glue on this. So I'm out of camera range. I'm going to put this through that little hole. And then I'm just going to put this so it's lined up at the bottom of the card. And just gives that little bit of extra of snow look. And you could do multiple layers if you wanted. And then again, I'm sorry I'm out of camera range. I'm just cutting those off and making them even with the edge of the card. Okay, next what I have, if you wanted to, you could put another support behind the little boy that's floating, but I didn't do that. So I have these snowballs that I drew, and they're just piles of snowballs, and I'm sorry it's hard to see. I'm just figuring out where I want to put them. Kind of like that one there. And then I'm going to take the other stack of them, I'm going to put them next to the other little boy, like actually behind him just a little bit. So I'm going to secure these down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on one edge. If my glue will start. And then just secure that right behind his foot. And then I'll take the other piece that's in the front, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Just put a little bit of glue right on the edge. And then just secure that just a little bit behind the snow. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to place all the snowballs just around the front of the card and on the bottom of the card, so it looks like snowballs are just laying around the ground. Again, you can put these anywhere that you wanted to. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to leave one more just for the front of the card. So let me move this back. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the embellishment. So I have Let It Snow, and what I cut out two of these, and I did them in red just to bring in those Christmas colors. I'm gluing one to the other so that I just have a little bit of dimension on it, and then I'm going to add glue to the back of the side of this. And I'm just using the quick grab glue. It's got a very fine point, so it's easy to do the letters. And then I'm just going to secure this right to the front in the middle. Making sure it's lined up. And I'll just carefully push that down. Then we're going to add some embellishments to this. We're going to add pop dots to the back of this. So let me grab some pop dots. Actually, let's put this first. Let's put this snowball. I know this is very hard to see. It's white on white. But I did shade them just a little bit in blue just to make them have just a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to put that one snowball right there. And now I'm going to grab some foam dots, and I'm just going to put a couple of them around here. I do not want to lift today. There we go. Now you could use bigger ones if you had. These were just sitting there, so I'm just going to use these. I'm going to put about 5 of them around. And then pull all the backs off. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on the top, and I'm going to do it just a little bit at an angle. Just want to let it snow just to be slightly angled. But again, I don't want it to go over the edge of the card because this card is a 5x7 card. So that is it. That is the card we made. I hope you had fun making this card with me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.